In today's episode, which is our last episode of 2025, we are breaking down both the best and the worst of our 2025 travels, from incredible hotels and surprise upgrades to the flights and or hotels we would never visit again. We're also sharing a couple of weird and or stressful travel moments that have never made it on the podcast. So listen in. Hi, I'm Rhea.
And I'm Dwayne.
And we are your hosts of the Travel Party of Five podcast, where we share how we travel as a family of five around the world.
We will also share how we use points and miles to travel as affordably as possible and sometimes even completely free.
So if you're wanting to travel more with your family, but you're not sure how, we'd love for you to listen in.
So welcome to our podcast, where we hope you learn a thing or two to get you closer to your next trip. Welcome back.
Welcome back to our very last episode of 2025.
As always, we appreciate you tuning in.
Yes, I hope that you are listening to this either wrapping presents or on your way to get some last minute gifts or whatever. But maybe you're listening to this in the future and it's already 2026, but we appreciate you. We're going to do a recap today of just some of like the best and worst of 2025. I don't know that there's like a ton of worst, right? But like there's a few things that maybe weren't our favorite. So we're going to talk about all of that today. I have a very short outline. It is just 8 lines.
So it's a quick one.
In theory.
Short and sweet.
In theory. Okay, so let me just quickly recap like some of our, yes, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
Okay, some of our travels going all the way back, because if you are like me and as I get older, time just feels like it is hurtling forward at warp speed. The other day I said to Dwayne, I said, hey, what about like, I was talking about a football game and I was like, did you see that football game that was like, I think it was on Monday? And Dwayne was like, it was yesterday. The football game was less than 24 hours ago, but in my mind, it was 5 days ago. So anyways.
Mind you, she said the game on Monday and it was Friday and the game happened
Thursday night. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways. Okay. So our travels for the year as a family started in March. We visited Europe. We went to Paris, Barcelona, and Madrid. So Paris, we stayed at the Hyatt Regency Étoile. Barcelona, we stayed at the Grand Hyatt Barcelona. And Madrid, we stayed at the Hyatt-centric Gran Via in Madrid. Over the summer, we did a couple of different trips. We went to Oceanside, like we do every year. We stayed at the Seabird. We went...
Indian Wells.
Oh, yeah, we went to Indian Wells on that trip, too. That was our first time there. That's in Palm Springs, so more deserty. We went to Lake Tahoe and Yosemite. We didn't really use points for the Yosemite piece, but we did stay at the Hyatt Regency Lake Tahoe, which was beautiful. And then I think, Dwayne and I went to Cabo for our annual kid-free getaway.
Yes.
We stayed at the Cape, which is a Thompson property by Hyatt.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Yes.
Oh, I actually was listening to a podcast the other day where like the director or like the head of loyalty for Hyatt was on, and they asked her what some of her favorite properties are. And one of them she mentioned was the Cape. And I was like, oh, we've been there. Mm-hmm. I felt like Elf, like Santa, I know him. I was like, oh, I know that one.
It's top of my list too.
It was beautiful. And then fall, we went to Japan. So we did Tokyo, Kyoto, and back to Tokyo. We stayed at the Hyatt, what is the Tokyo one or the Ginza one? Hyatt-centric Ginza in Tokyo. Hyatt Place Kyoto, and then Hyatt House Tokyo Shibuya. And then we went to Christmas markets and we did an Airbnb in Strasbourg, but we stayed at Hyatt Regency Cologne in Germany, which was also fantastic. And I'm probably missing a few like weekend getaways here and there because we did a couple of stays at some Hilton properties locally, but None of those would make my best of list, quite frankly. So I don't know
And
about
our
you.
annual trip to the Grand Hyatt
Oh yeah, we
Scottsdale.
did do that. Yeah, we do enjoy that hotel a lot. So yeah, big year of travel. We flew primarily economy on our international trips, but we did fly business class twice going to and from Europe for the Christmas markets. So I think we flew Japan Airlines, we flew Air France, we flew Singapore Airlines, along with a bunch of American Airlines domestic flights. We didn't fly Southwest
Yeah,
at all
that's
this
what that.
year. Yeah, we don't have companion passes this year, and we're not going to have them for next year. So we're just more focused on international travel. But okay, so let's dive in now that I've done a quick recap and maybe help to jog Dwayne's memory because he just
Yeah.
saw this outline 7 seconds before we started recording. Okay, so what would you say was your best hotel of the year? And so there's also a best like upgrade. So maybe try to keep them like separate.
Well, I mean, for me, I think it's the Cape,
Mm,
just the location, and it helps that we were kid free. It was like a
yeah,
stress free
yeah,
weekend. It was short, but I mean, it
yeah.
was time well spent relaxing.
Yes, we on our trips where we do with no kids, we really don't make any plans. Or if we do, it's very minimal plans. And then we just kind of see where the day takes us. And it's always so nice because that is not how we travel the rest of the year. So it's always a nice little recharge. The Cape is a really beautiful property. The food is also incredibly delicious.
Yes, except
But,
for the fried chicken,
oh, yeah.
Korean fried chicken.
But I mean, I was telling someone the other day, it is the most expensive food I've ever seen on a vacation.
Yes.
Not even just at the Cape, but in Cabo in general. The Cape
Yes.
is included in that. It was very expensive, but
That was where we got the sushi from the pool
yeah,
bar, and it
yeah.
was like a roll, but it cost what? It was
It
like,
was like $38,
yeah.
I think.
But it was so good.
It
We
was
got it more than
so
once.
good. It was so good. And I mean, we live in Arizona, so we don't get the best like fresh seafood most of the time. So we try to take advantage when we're,
Yeah.
near the
And
water.
shout out to the pool staff there. They were great.
Yeah, they were. I think that my best hotel of the year was the Grand Hyatt Barcelona.
That was also up there for sure.
That was a fantastic hotel. The staff was so kind. Like at one point our phone didn't work and we didn't even complain about it. We didn't really care. We just said, "Hey, we can't like order room service because our phone doesn't work." So that's like why we're like coming down here to do it. And then they like they sent us a gift. They apologized for the issue, and we were like, "Wait, what is the issue?" And then we asked, and they're like, "Well, your phone doesn't work." And we were like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So it was obviously wasn't too concerning for us, but the breakfast there was so good. The little pastries that they had, like the little croissants with the
The best
sugar
selection for sure.
and the custard inside, I still think about it. The room was stunning.
The bathroom itself was by far probably one of the nicest, if not the nicest.
It was incredible.
The bathroom itself was like another room.
Yes, I think the bathroom was like the size of one of our rooms at the Paris hotel.
Yeah, it definitely
It was
was.
massive. And it was just fantastic. So, yeah.
And that was the shower that had the rainfall, and it was like you can set it to like regular, like monsoon. I think was the option. And if you had it on the monsoon setting, it was just like torrential downpour on you, which was great.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed that property. And they have a Peruvian restaurant on the roof, which was also pretty good. We went there one night.
Yeah, we went at night, but the
Yeah.
views were
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah. So I think that would be probably my best hotel of the year. That hotel actually gets a lot of negative reviews because it's not near like the touristy areas. But guys, trust us that it was not a big deal at all to take the metro.
The train station or the subway was like a 5-minute walk.
Yeah. And it was raining
Yeah,
most
it
of the
rained,
time we were
yeah.
there, and it was still completely fine. The hotel had
Completely
provided umbrellas. Like, don't let the fact that it's not near the touristy areas stop you from staying there because it was a fantastic property.
Yes, this was
Um,
actually the first property we've been to where the Nutella was on tap.
yeah, and we've since been to many others, and
Yes, that's like the new thing now.
we've had to put a limit with our children on how much they're allowed to use. But yeah,
Yeah, great hotel.
yeah. Okay, so let's flip the script now. Let's do worst hotel.
Yeah, I don't know. I was asking Ray before the podcast. Like, I don't know if I have a worse hotel.
Oh, we do. I do. I know what mine is, and yours is probably the same. It's the Thompson Dallas.
Oh, yes. The room was great.
Yes, the room was fine.
You
The
didn't
room was
even
fine.
mention that in the intro.
I know I didn't. I forgot all about it because that was like a quick trip. We if you're new or haven't listened to all our episodes, we took our 8-year-old son to Dallas for the weekend because each of our kids gets to choose a 9th birthday trip. And this was his trip. He wanted to go see a Dallas Cowboys game. As a New York Giants fan, that does make me want to vomit, yes. But they played the New York Giants that weekend, so it was a win. It was a win all around, except for the Giants.
Yeah, it was a great game
It
though.
was a great game. We stayed at the Thompson Dallas. The room was wonderful. It was a suite. It was on a high floor. We were on like the 17th floor. But the service when we checked in was, I'm going to say, mediocre at best.
Yeah, they just weren't thrilled to be there.
Yeah, they look like they hated their job. And like, I get it. I've worked in hospitality and customer service. I get it. But like, we're polite people. So I don't know. Um, and the street racing at 3 a.m. was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it was weird. There was like she said, street racing downtown Dallas. Every night we were there. At all hours in the morning. Like it was
And again, we
wow.
were on the 17th floor, so we should have been high up enough that you think you couldn't hear it. But when we
I mean,
mentioned
it
it
just echoed through the high rises there.
yeah, when we mentioned it to the front desk at checkout, not even in like a complaining way, just in a like, wow, it was really loud. The girl, what did the girl say? She was like, oh yeah, it was a rough night or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
So, anyways, we didn't ask for compensation or anything like that. I like whatever. They can't control
Yeah,
that,
it's not their fault.
But I wouldn't stay there again. I would stay at a different property. So that's my 2 cents there. Okay. Let's go on to best hotel upgrade. So hotel aside, like even if the hotel was maybe mediocre, what was like the best room or upgrade that we got this year? And we had quite a few.
I mean, off the top of my head, had to have been the Seabird.
Oh, that was mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, that room
I
was.
thought you were going to pick the one in Germany.
I mean, that was also nice, but the Seabird, because you're right there on the water.
know, yeah.
The balcony was huge, and the view was again amazing. Like just overlooked. You had almost a 360 view. You had like a 240 view
It was incredible. Like
of Oceanside.
it was, yes.
And Oceanside is one of my favorite places.
I know. We really love going there. I haven't booked our 2026 stay yet, but I have a plan for I think how I'm going to try to do it, but I can't do it till January. So we'll see if I'm able to. Yeah, the Seabird is just, I can't explain why I love it so much because there's actually a lot about the hotel that's like the pool is really small, but like I just love it there. I love
The
it.
pool is really small, but I mean, the ocean is 20 feet away.
It's right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that view. And we got to watch, because we were there on the 4th of July, we got to watch the air show literally from our balcony and the flyover. Like they do a flyover there because it's
right over the hotel.
like directly above us. And the kids were like, thought that was so cool. And then we got to watch the fireworks out there too. And originally they were like, no, you're probably not going to see fireworks. But we had such a view of everything, like literally probably 270-degree view. And we saw like 4 different fireworks displays, including the one at Camp Pendleton, which is just slightly north of the Seabird.
Yep.
So I agree. That was absolutely the best one.
But I mean, we've had so many nice rooms. I mean, again, the Cape.
The Cape, we used a Suite Upgrade Award. Yeah.
Yeah. Cologne, Germany.
Yeah. And I didn't use an upgrade award on that one. They just upgraded us, which was such a nice surprise.
Yeah. I mean, again, the one in Barcelona, fantastic.
That was like our first, the one in Barcelona was our first like suite. I think I did use a suite upgrade award, but that was like our first time really utilizing the Hyatt benefits for Globalist also, because we didn't have it, prior to that. And I just remember being like, whoa, like this is so much bigger and better than a standard room. And you know what? The Grand Hyatt Barcelona, going back to that, another reason I loved it is one night Dwayne went to do laundry, as we do when we travel for 2 weeks with kids in carry-on only. And I ordered room service for the kids because we were all just tired and it was raining, and they delivered it on a full room service cart, which I think is a lost art. A lot of hotels bring you just like a paper bag full of like takeout containers, but they rolled in a cart with like everything on it, and the kids thought that was cool too. So did I. Okay, let's do flights. So let's go backwards. Start with the worst flight.
I can't even remember the flights.
For me, it would probably be the Singapore Airlines economy flight back from Japan. I felt like I was sitting in a domestic economy.
It was small
seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the food was not good.
Yeah.
So that was, it felt really cramped. And it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, especially because we flew economy on Japan Airlines on the way there, and that was pretty good.
That was great. That was like I wrote down for best flight, I said that we should do an economy and a business flight, and Dwayne was like, well, we only did business once. I'm like, well, no, it was 2 flights. It was to Europe and back. And he's like, I don't know. But
same trip.
But the Japan Airlines economy flight would for sure be my best economy flight. I would fly that again in a heartbeat. It was comfy. Like the seats were definitely bigger than a regular, like they were bigger than Singapore Airlines economy seats for sure.
And the bathroom was huge.
The bathroom was huge, yeah.
But that was the flight where they like ran out of food.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They like started. It was
for some reason it always seems to happen to us where we're always in the middle, but wherever we are, they're going to start as far away from us as they can, it seems.
So they ran out of like the main entree.
It was beef.
Yeah.
And so you had to get fish, but I tried to give you my beef and you were like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So.
And the fish was not very good.
No. Well, I mean, yeah. Anyways. So yeah, that would be my worst flight would be the Singapore Airlines from Haneda. Wait, no. Which way? We flew into Haneda and out of Narita.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Singapore Airlines, Narita to LAX, worst economy flight internationally of the year. And JAL SFO to Haneda, best economy flight of the year.
Yeah.
Best business class flight. I mean, I don't even need to ask you. It was the Paris to Phoenix direct flight because it was 10 hours. Maybe
10
even
hours.
11.
It was a newer plane.
Yeah. Doors. We had doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible.
I mean, the kids sat next to the window because they make them sit next to the window. We don't know why.
Yeah.
But it didn't have a shade. You just like ran your finger along the bottom and the window like blacked itself out.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen before.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah, my kid was like, hey, Dad, can you put the shade down? And I was like, yeah. I was like, wait, there is no shade. But yeah, it was crazy.
That was a great flight. And like, I think people always talk about flying business class over to Europe because that's the overnight flight so you can sleep. And I get that. But like, there's something so luxurious about flying business class home where you are at the end of a long trip. You're tired. You've probably been walking 15 to 20,000 steps a day at a minimum. You're exhausted. You're ready to go home. And you just get to like relax for a straight, 10, 11 hours if you're on the West Coast of the US. And it's a daytime flight. So you're awake pretty much the whole time. And you get to really enjoy all the amenities of business class. So, if I had to choose, I would choose to fly it back versus going there if I could only pick one.
I was going to say, if I get to choose, I'm flying that every time.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, if I could only pick one, I would choose it back because on the way there, your adrenaline is high, you're excited, like And then like it's fine. You stay up the whole day you're there, and then you go to bed, and then you wake up and you're fine. But like, yeah, but you have to like you have the business class to look forward to the whole trip, right? You don't have to dread the flight going home. So that's my 2 cents about it. Okay, so we've done best hotel, best upgrade, worst hotel, best flight, worst flight. Oh, the last two things were just like we had a couple of stressful and or weird travel situations that I don't think we've ever talked about on the podcast. And we were talking about one of them the other day, and I thought, oh yeah, we should just share that story. One of them is the suitcase on the escalator. Should I share that?
Sure.
This was probably my most stressful moment of travel of the year. Would you say for you or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the away larger carry-on bags, and our kids, like our little two kids specifically, our oldest is too big, but our little two like to zoom around on them. So they put the handle down and they lay their belly on it and their like chest, and they Superman through the airport. And they're always careful about like people. Like they've never run into anyone. Like they're always fine about that. But no matter how many times we tell them to stop doing that, they do not listen because it is so fun. And it's like, you know what? Like I get that being in the airport sucks like for a kid. Like I get that this is like the joy that you're trying to extract out of this situation. So fine. Superman your way through the airport, like whatever. But like then I just on our trip to Europe this past time, we flew from Denver to JFK and then JFK to Paris. In JFK, our son got on the escalator with his bag and the handle was not up. And he is 8 years old, mind you. And he was way ahead of the rest of us. So he gets on the escalator and we're all behind him. And as I get on the escalator, I see him go, oh no, and his bag is tumbling down the escalator in front of him. And there are people at the bottom of the escalator. And so I am behind him, and I have my own bag, and there's nothing I can do to get to that suitcase. So I try to warn the people that are at the bottom, and I say like, hey, watch out, watch out. And they turn and they look. And it was like an older couple and maybe their like adult daughter. I think that was like the vibe I got. But again, so it's them, then him halfway up the escalator and us like at the top. And the suitcase did hit them slightly, I think. I don't think it hit them very hard. I think they like stopped it and it was fine. And then our son said to them, sorry. And I'm going to remind you that he's 8 years old. And they yelled at him and they stuck their finger in his face and they said, you don't say sorry. And then I was like, are you okay? To them. They yelled back at me that I needed to control my children. And so then I went from concerned to pretty mad. And I was like, he's 8 years old and you're fine. So do you have?
I mean, so needless to say, we took his luggage on escalators the rest of the trip.
Yes. Yes.
Because, I mean, yes, it was an accident. Yes, he probably should have waited for us. But, shit happens.
He's 8. Like, he's 8. And what's even weirder is like literally the day before, I think, I had said to both of our little kids, hey, if you are on an escalator with your bag and your bag goes falling down, what do you do? And they were like, I don't know. And I was like, you let it go because I care more about you than the bag. I literally told that to them. So I don't know why. I've never told them that before, but that was maybe maybe some foreshadowing that I didn't know. So, but he couldn't stop the bag because he didn't have the handle up. That was the problem because he had been Supermaning on it through the airport. So yes, we need to control our children, but also mistakes happen. And so I was really proud of him that he apologized before. I mean, we weren't even near him and he apologized because he knew. And I think that takes a lot of guts for an 8-year-old and the fact that they yelled back at him, like, I get that they were upset, but he's 8 and he's pretty small. So
That was the beginning of our trip.
yeah, we were like, oh, we're off to a great start. Okay, and then we have another funny story. This happened on our way back from Japan. So we flew from Japan into LAX, and then we had a few hour layover, and then we took a flight from LAX back to Phoenix. And on that LAX to Phoenix flight, me and the little two sat in one row, and Dwayne and our oldest sat in another row with this older lady. And when I say older, I mean, I think she had to be at least 75, is my guess.
Yes, so we sat down. She was already in her seat. She saw that I was wearing some Jordans. So she's like, hey, I like your Concord 11s. That's the name of the shoe. So we started chit-chatting about sneakers. She said because she also had I think she had some like Nike Dunks on.
And again, I just want to reiterate, she's like 75. Okay.
So probably maybe even older.
Yeah.
She's talking about her son is also a sneakerhead. He has like 200 pairs. Blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, this lady's pretty chill. She's pretty cool. So we go about the flight. We're tired. We've been traveling all day. So we all kind of go to sleep. Well, me and my oldest do.
This is the Monday that never ends for us.
And at one point, I woke up. Back up. So we had snacks. We had snacks in the pocket. It was like gummy bears or something. So we go to sleep. And at one point, I wake up, from a little nap. And I see the lady put our snacks back in one of the bags of snacks back into the seat pocket. And I'm like, I'm just getting up. I'm a little groggy. And I'm like, did she just take our snacks? So then I look at it. The snacks weren't open. So I look at it. I pull the bag out and it's open. And she's like chewing on some snacks. And I'm like, I look at her and I go, I'm sorry. Are you eating my son's snacks? And she's like, oh, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Who does that? Basically, it was just the weirdest thing. So then I'm just like, what? What? Why would you do that? Like, if she would have just asked me for it, I would have given her, happily given her some snacks. But the fact that she just thought, these guys are sleeping, I'm going to grab their snacks and, as if they're my own, I'm just going to eat them. It was so weird.
That's so weird.
Such a weird situation. So, I mean, I probably could have been a lot nicer, but I was like, honestly, I was like, who the F do you think you are? Just to do that.
This is all happening across the aisle, and I have no idea. I'm oblivious. I'm with the little two, and I have no idea any of this is going down until we're off the plane.
I mean, I'm sorry if I sound like a prick, but I was just so shocked. Like, I couldn't believe it. So then she gives my son money. She's like, I'm so sorry. Here's some money for your snacks.
Here's 10. She gave him $10.
And first of all, she had like snacks in her hand. She's like, here, take these back. And I'm like, I don't want those. I don't want your money. I don't want the snacks back. Just like, don't ever do that again. But it was so weird.
But our 11-year-old did want the money.
Yeah. So he snacked the money and I let him. I said, whatever.
So weird.
It was so weird.
Yeah. So we still laugh about that story because that was just so odd. So she got her $10 bag of gummy bears and I don't know, went on her way, I guess.
Yeah. Such a weird situation.
Yeah. Pretty funny though. Okay. I think that those are our stories. That's all we've got, I think. Anything else that you can remember?
No, but I mean, the Cape, great hotel.
Oh yeah.
Seabird, great hotel.
Yeah. I really hope my plan for the Seabird, for anyone, you know what? I'll share my plan if it works. Because Chase just did a devaluation of the points boost, and that was a piece of my plan. So let me figure it out in January, and then I'll report back on if I'm able to do it or not. But I really hope I'm able to book that again because I really love going there.
I mean, overall, we stayed at a lot of nice places this year.
Yes. If you go back and listen to earlier episodes where we talk about globalist status, and I basically say, like, I don't know that this is worth it for our family specifically. I'll just let you know right now, I was wrong. It is worth it if you're gonna travel as much as we do. It is
sweet upgrades if available, free breakfast for 4. Usually they just give it
Usually,
all 5 of us.
yeah, because our daughter's little and cute for now. We'll see when they're grown. But yes, if you're going to travel like a few decent sized trips a year and stay at Hyatt's, I do think it is worth it.
Hyatt Regency Cologne, great hotel.
Yep.
Great location.
I mean, all in all, we had a really fantastic year of travel, primarily thanks to points and miles. And I was looking up a Disney cruise the other day and I was like, God, it sounds incredible. It sounds wonderful. But like a 3 to 4 night Disney cruise where all you do is go to the Bahamas and like maybe their Castaway Key or whatever, their like little island that they have, for 5 people is $5,000 for 3 or 4 nights. And it's like, that's so much money. My friend was like, do you like draining your wallet? Do you like not having money in your bank account? When I was telling her about this. And I was like, you're right. I just need to go somewhere where we can stay with points. $5,000.
I mean, I saw somewhere it's cheaper to buy a plane ticket to Japan, go to Tokyo Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
And fly back than it is to fly to Florida, go to Disney World, and do the same thing.
I think that's 100% true. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, also skiing. They say that about skiing too. It's easier to fly to like Europe or Japan to go skiing than it is to ski here in the US because the ski passes are so expensive. So, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, we're rambling now, but thank you for listening to our podcast for the last 2 years.
Yes. Happy holidays to you.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you, your family, and everyone you know.
Happy New Year.
We wish you guys an incredibly blessed 2026.
Yep.
And we will be back in 2 weeks with a fresh new episode.
Of who knows?
Of my choosing that I haven't chosen yet. But I will. Yep. Okay.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in.
We appreciate you. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.